The next member you are supposed to learn is this frog. Okay? Well, it is Rana tigrina. We know this frog, it belongs to the phylum Chordata. The class is Amphibia. Amphi refers to both, bios refers to life. So, this cockroach, rather this frog, this is adapted for two modes of living, in the water and on the land. Have you ever tried? Can you hold a frog easily? No, it is very slippery, it jumps and runs away. So, how is this? It is because the whole body skin of this frog, it is loaded with the mucus glands. So, the mucus keeps on secreting, one variety. So, there are certain frogs which have the poisonous glands in their skin. ನೀವು ಈ ಅಂಡಮಾನ್ ನಿಕೋಬಾರ್ ಐಲ್ಯಾಂಡಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಅಂಡರ್ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿಗ್ಮಿಗಳು, ಕಾಡು ಜನಾಂಗದವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಗನ್ನು ಮಿಸೈಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಕಪ್ಪೆ, ಆ ಕಪ್ಪೆದ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ದೇ ಸ್ಮಿಯರ್ ಟು ದಿ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆರೋ and then they just leave it and it is poisonous and would be fatal to the person. So, ಈ ಥರ ಆ ಫ್ರಾಗದ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಮ್ಯೂಕಸ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ಪರಿ. ಏನು ರೀಸನ್? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಆಡುವಾಗ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ನಿನ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಕೂಡ ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಆಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ it has a cutaneous respiration and that's why the skin should be moist there. The body is bilaterally symmetrical, then it is a streamline. You find that it is divisible into head and then the trunk. There is no tail, it is an anurine member. Okay, in the head region you find one pair of the big eyes bulging and you find they are on the dorsal lateral sides. One pair of the nostrils are there, wide crescent shaped mouth, crescent in the sense it is half moon shaped. So, wide crescent shaped mouth is there. One special feature we find in the eye of the frog is that they have the eyelids. Apart from them there is a nictitating membrane. The beauty of nature is very very enormous. ಪ್ರತಿ ಜೀವಿಗೂ ಅದರದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬದುಕಿಗೆ ಅದು they have the adaptation. See, frog is adapted for living in the water and on the land. As soon as the frog leaps into the water body, imagine this is the water body and the frog is sinking down, the body of the frog is sinking down. As the body sinks down in the water body, you find the nictitating membrane closes the eyeball. You know why? So, there would be certain dust particles in the water body which may pierce the eye of the frog. That shouldn't happen and this creature needs to exist in the water body also, and that is why it has the nictitating membrane as to cover and protect the eyeball. Well children, just behind this eye you find there is a thin fold of the skin and this would be helping in perceiving the sounds. It is a tympanic membrane. Then there would be the trunk portion which beholds two pairs of the limbs, one pair of the forelimb and one pair of the hind limbs. The forelimbs are short, but the hind limbs they are very thick and sturdy and lengthy, because when it leaps it has to put the pressure here and then leap up. See here, in the hind limbs they have 5 digits, in the forelimbs they would be having 4 digits. In the hind limbs, in between the digits there are thin folds of the skin. That is why you call this to be as webbed foot. Why should there be a webbed foot? Because the frog when it jumps into the water will have to swim thoroughly and easily, and that is why it has been gifted with a webbed foot here. Okay. Next, forelimbs are smaller than the hind limbs. Forelimbs have 4 digits without the claws. Hind limbs consist of thick thigh, shank and foot with 5 long and webbed digits there. So, ಏನು ನಾವು thigh ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, it is thick and you call that to be as shank. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಓದುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಆದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ the human beings had intervened and they have seen to it that this thigh of the frog was just exported because it was very delicious. In some of the countries they would just make some medicine out of it. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮಾನವ ಹಣಕ್ಕೆ ಆಸೆ ಪಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ದ ಕಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಕತ್ತರಿಸಿ ಹೊರ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ the government has banned to dissect in the laboratory. We are not supposed to harm any of the creature. That's why everything is put over the digital board and you are visualizing it. Okay. Next here, the males. Here also we find a sexual dimorphism. The male frog will have a pair of prominent ocal sac on the ventral surface of the lower jaw, and it produces the sound to attract the female during the breeding season. The sounds produced by the frog will be called croaking. If it is a dog that produces the sound, you say it is barking. If the donkey produces the sound, you say it is braying. But when it is a frog, then you say it is croaking. Okay? See here, sexual dimorphism is there between male and the female frog. Males are smaller than the females, and the base of the first digit of the forelimb becomes thick and pad like during the breeding season, and it is called nuptial pads. What you are seeing here is a male frog. See here, a male frog nalli forelimb na first digit yenide adra base nalli ಒಂದು ಪುಟಾಣಿ ಪ್ಯಾಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಸೀಸನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕಲ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎನ್ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಪ್ಚಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅನ್ ಆಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಸ್ ಥರೋಲಿ. Amplexus is an act of copulation. So here this can hold the female's body very firmly, and that's why it's present in the males, but the same is absent in the female. Okay. At the end of the trunk portion, it bears a cloaca. It's not anus, but it bears a cloaca. That's the characteristic features of the frog. So this is about the external morphology, children. Thank you. Hello children, Deshiya Vidyashala Samiti Shimogga welcomes you to the first PUC biology practicals. Welcome to DVSPU Independent College. This is the entrance of our esteemed institution. Well, get set to learn your practicals through video classes, and I am Shruti Ramaswamy, and I have Mr. Ganesh along with me to help me out with this experiment. Now the experiment is, or practical number is 13. It's preparation of the herbarium sheets. The background picture what you are seeing is the Kew Botanical Garden of London. Well children, what is this all about? What's the aim of it? See, preparation of the herbarium sheets of flowering plants. The principle behind this is that you get to know about the various families to which the plants belong to. Taxonomists preserve the plant specimens in dry state by mounting it on a thick sheet of paper. Such a mounted sheet is called herbarium sheet, but the place where the herbarium sheets are systematically stored is called herbarium. The primary function of herbarium is to facilitate identification of the plants and also to aid in taxonomic research. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗದೇ ಇರೋವಂಥ ಗಿಡ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಆದರೆ ಆ ಗಿಡದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ herbarium sheets. So the picture behind here, what you are observing is the Botanical Garden of Kolkata. Well children, see here how beautifully the museum is having the files of this herbarium. See here, the plants they have been preserved here. See, there is a file that has been made. And how to do this? Collect the twigs of a few wild plants, herbs, shrubs or trees. See here, we have this. See, ಈ ಥರ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ಲಾಂಟನ್ನು ನೀನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಆ ಟ್ವಿಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರಬೇಕು, ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹೆಲ್ದಿಯಾಗಿ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ ನಂತರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಪೈಲ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್, ಅದರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ದ ಟ್ವಿಗ್. ಈ ಟ್ವಿಗನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ರಿಂಕಲ್ಡ್, it should not get wrinkled. Neatly it should be spreaded out. Then place one more blotting paper over this. It should not get crushed. Place one more blotting paper over this. And above this you place another pile of the newspapers. Now what you are doing is you are using the bird. See, we place this here, and above this another plank is placed. Then the whole lot is tied. It is tied by the help of a twine. ಇದು ಏನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, in case if you pursue your studies with botany, this is a must that you will have to do it, children. ಈ ಥರ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಟ್ವೈನ್ನ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಸುತ್ತಬೇಕು, ಭಾರ ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ. ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಆ ಶೀಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಅಗೈನ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಸಿ ಟು ಇಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ರಶ್ಡ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಶೀಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟದ ತೇವಾಂಶ ಏನು ಆ ಶೀಟಿಗೆ ಸೋಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡ್ರೈಡ್. ಆ ಒದ್ದೆ ಶೀಟನ್ನು ಮೇಲಿಡಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಿದ್ದದನ್ನು ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಎಂಡ್ ದೇ. ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಯು ವುಡ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಮೆನ್ ವುಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡ್ರೈಡ್ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಮಚ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್. ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್, ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಒನ್ ಹರ್ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಶೀಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೀ. ಇಷ್ಟು ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೀನು ಯಾರು ಆ ಹರ್ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಈ ಹರ್ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾವ ದಿನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಏರಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಟ್ವಿಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ವಿಚ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಅಂತ, ಅದರದ್ದು ಬೊಟಾನಿಕಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರದ್ದು ಕಾಮನ್ ನೇಮ್, ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಈ ಥರ ಅನೇಕ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಮನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೀನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹರ್ಬೇರಿಯಾ ಮಾಡಿ, ಈ ಹರ್ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಶೀಟ್ಸನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ಆ ಫೈಲನ್ನು ಯು ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನಾಮಿಕ್ ಏಡ್. And that's how it's being done. See that? Spread the plant on the sheet in such a manner that there should be no overlapping of the foliage or the flowers. Place some sheets over and a heavy weight box over it. Repeat this process of transferring the specimens to fresh sheets for a few days till the specimens is dry. Mount the dried plant specimen on a herbarium sheet with the gum or a sellotape. Record in a field diary its name, date, place of collection on the right hand side of the bottom corner. And that's it as to how you prepare a herbarium. Thanks to Mr. Ganesh here. And what you are seeing here, children, it's our Lal Bagh. So in the garden city of Bangalore we find this Lal Bagh wherein there is a flower show. Have a look at it beautifully. Yes. Thank you.